So every 30 minutes I have to press record? Fuck that. Fuck that. Okay, real quick. If you have a Canon EOS Rebel T791, how do you get it to just keep recording? Because it cuts off for me every half hour. I don't know if that's my memory card or if that's, something I formatted, but it's got to stop. I need to be able to record for hours. So, if anyone could help me, thanks.
How is it not Drake? How is it not Drake at number one? Discography, influence, singles, features, skill, enjoyment. He knocks out 5 of the 6.
Okay, hold on. Just a quick thing, right? While I'm here, while I'm recording, I'm on Instagram and I follow my boy. He's a rap critic and he has this page, Rap Zebra. Give him a follow. They just posted their top 10 hip hop artists of the decade, and boy, I don't know if trigger's the right word, because I absolutely hate everything about this list. Maybe not everything about this list. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, they have 6 artists that do deserve to be top 10. Their order is highly, highly questionable. So Travis Scott should be closer to 10. Young Thug should be closer to 7, 6. Cole should be closer to 5, 4. Tyler shouldn't be on this list. Drake should be 1. Kendrick should be 2. Okay, yeah, I would go Drake, Kendrick, Kanye. Absolutely baffling to me. It's clear to me now. These are white guys. These are white men. So I'm geeking because I'm in this heated argument right now with my boy Dan. What's up again, by the way? I'm in this heated argument with my boy, and we're talking about who's been the best artist of the past decade, 10 to 19. I think it's clearly Drake. He thinks it's slightly Kendrick. And Kendrick is a close 2 in my opinion, but it's not even like Drake is number 1 clearly. I think it's like 1, 2. It's not like a photo finish. Like, no, Drake won. Drake is number 1. When you just look at all of the hits he's either made or been a part of this decade, he's number 1 in my opinion. When you talk about his impact, unquestioned. He's when you talk about where he started to where he is now, the growth, it is incredible. Let me hop off his dick. Drake had the better 2010 to 2019 than Kendrick. Slightly. Love you, Kendrick. Slightly. Very, very small. But Drake had it. Yeah. So I'm gonna just get back into it then. Okay, so quick story time. So next football season, at the start of it, I'm gonna start my follow my fantasy football team kind of series, where we just kind of play along. You can tell me what you think, who should I play, who should not play, who should I drop. This past season, man, I was on three different leagues. All 3 just absolutely disappointed me in heartbreaking ways. All 3. Some of it's me. Some of it is just dumb fucking fantasy luck. Okay, let me start with my high school league. So my high school league is a 10-man league. We usually do it on info.com, and this league is, intense is too strong a word for it, but competitive. It's really competitive. Okay, it's a super competitive league. We all know what we're doing, so it's harder. We've been playing longer, so we all kind of know each other. So I'm one of the latecomers to the league, but I've been in the league myself. 6 years I've been in this league, and for 8 of them it's been 8 years or some shit. So my first league, my high school league, right? So we all kind of know each other. Now, I had a great draft. I had a great draft. I'm not gonna lie to you. From Chris Carson, Josh Jacobs, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce. And then I drafted AJ Green. But I'm not gonna get into it yet. But at the beginning of the season, I'm thinking, okay, I got AJ Green, I got Devin Singletary, I had Emmanuel Sanders, I had Tyrell Williams, who had a touchdown a game for like 6 weeks straight. So I had a decent team. I've actually been thinking about this a lot actually in my head. So think of this league, think of my team in this league like the LA Chargers, right? So the LA Chargers, although they have a good team with good pieces in the right places, they just seem to lose every game. I don't know what to say. Like it's not even that they're playing bad, but sometimes they are. But like most times they're not. So like hold on, wait, I'm gonna look it up real quick. The Chargers are a 5-11 team, but they don't feel like it, right? Okay, so I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 losses by one score. Close loss after close loss after close loss, and then a couple blowouts in there as well. That was my high school league this year, basically. I was the fucking Chargers. I just kept, it didn't matter how well I played or how many people had 20 points, because they always seemed to have a guy go off. It's crazy. I would pull up the stats. I think they're all gone. Yeah, so it didn't seem to matter who I played or where I played. If you played me, your team was going off in some way. I played the Patriots when they went off against Miami and had 42 points as a defense. And when one team had McCaffrey and Kenyon Drake combined for 80. I had one loss where I was down like 30. And all I needed was, and I had Emmanuel Sanders and Chris Carson, and they were about to play each other on Monday Night Football. And Chris Carson goes off for 20. And Emmanuel Sanders, guess what he has? 4. Why? 2 catches, gets hit in the ribs, checks himself out the game. I played Lamar Jackson twice, which I guess I can't blame on anyone else, but, luck when scheduling, I guess, but, I had to play him twice when everyone didn't have to play him twice, so that's fun. I gave the winless team their first win. So I'll just pray to the fantasy guys next time. I mean, I really don't know what to say. Like, my team would put up 150, like 200's like, wow, you scored 200 points. So like, the fact that my team would average like 150 always had me feeling like, okay, like we can win every week. We're just having some bad luck. And then the bad luck happened every week. So bad that I need a win to keep me out of the Sacco tournament, which is just the bottom 4 teams. And if I win, then I'm out the Sacco tournament. And what happens? We put up 156. But I had to play Lamar Jackson twice, who by himself put up 37. And then Joe Mixon, for him, had like 27, because he was going off late in the season. I'll get to him in a little bit, though. It's amazing to me. What can you do other than pray to God, you have better luck next season? Because literally, like, how in the world can a team in a 10-man put up an average 150 to 160 and win 4 games? How are you second in points for and not in the playoffs? Oh, because you're number 1 in points against, and it's not close. It's not close. Long story short, to finish the season, we go to the second tournament. Final game, I just kind of say fuck it. I throw in Fitzmagic. I just throw in some waiver guys that were doing well. Fitzmagic goes off for 40. And luckily, I don't have to do a comedy routine. So, thank the heavens for that. Even though Josh Jacobs went down week 17. So that was tough. But, we don't have to do the comedy routine. So, social anxiety reverted. Psych, I don't have social anxiety. That's basically a wrap up of my high school league, fantasy football league. We were just basically the Chargers. We lost a bunch of close games, along with some blowouts. It was tough sledding, and I guess I gotta hope for better luck next year. But I gotta get on my knees and tie my hair in a bow for the almighty fantasy gods. Gotta pin my hair back for the almighty fantasy gods so I can finally get some good luck going my way, please. Okay, there's also my college league. Now this is we call this, this is our house league, so we call it by our house name. It's competitive in a different way. It's competitive in a more survival kind of way versus where the high school league is more competitive, like everyone has a shot to beat you every week because everyone is just that good at it. Like this league is competitive as in because there's more people, there's less picks to go around, and so teams are a little skimmier when it comes to players, and you may run into a week where you're playing a guy with absolutely nobody, so that can be fun. But man, that league was tricky because I don't think I ever had a team come down with as many injuries as that team. So first off, let me just start out with this. I drafted terribly. My two first picks in this league were Joe Mixon and Devontae Adams. And it cringes me every night to even think that I could have I could have Michael Thomas in the first pick and Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry or Aaron Jones or any of those guys. Anyone not Joe Mixon. But I had to pick Joe Mixon. I picked Kittle in this league. I had a bunch of other superstars. I had Kittle, as I said. I had Devin Singletary in this league, Tevin Coleman. I thought this league I could actually have won. But this league was just some bad coaching and some shit final luck. With this league, it was more of a false confidence. A false confidence in the idea that my players were better than they were, right? So so week 1 I lost. I think we only put up 80 points, and it was a little scary, but I was just thinking, okay, it's week 1, even though Kittle only had 4 and I drafted Wentz too. Wentz only had 6, Tevin Coleman got injured, but Devin Singletary off the bench had 13. So, I thought I was going to be all right. And then week 2 comes around. Joe Mixon absolutely was just kind of showing himself. He wasn't very good. And you know what? My problem really isn't Joe Mixon, because Joe Mixon, the running back himself, is a talented running back. My problem is with the Cincinnati Bengals and their refusal to try to get him the ball in creative ways. Because I watched their games painfully, and all they do is simple off tackles, simple traps, simple halfback dives. It's just how do you expect him to operate when you're making the run play so easy? They tee up on it because you don't have any solid receivers on the outside, so all you have to do is stop Joe Mixon, and your whole offense is fucking stopped. So I don't know why I did that. I'm not a fucking server. No, but it was frustrating. I didn't want to trade him because I know he's talented and I know he's the bell cow running back. He's the main and only running back that they have that's worth a damn. And they just couldn't give it to him. They couldn't find a way to get him in open space, let him be creative, let him be fluid, whatever. So I dealt with that all season up until about week, I want to say 13 when he started just going off, which I'll freshman year more, which I'll get to in a second, because he wasn't, I'm telling you, he wasn't just bad, he was like game losing bad. He would put up, as a starting RB, running back 1 or 2, you can't have 2, 3, 4 point games. So terrible. So I dealt with that all season. And then back to injuries. I had Devontae Adams get injured, and he was injured. He was on and off, faking it for about 6 weeks. I had Tevin Coleman, who was just out injured until about week 6, 7. You had Devin Singletary, who was in and out, but he was actually playing, so that was decent. I had Chris Carson was actually a piece for me all season. And then my wide receiver too. So I drafted. You're gonna roast the shit out of me. So I drafted Dante Pettis to super late. So my draft strategy was this, right? I knew if Adrian Green played, he'd be a solid wide receiver 1. So I knew if I could just supplement everything around it and then wait for him to come back, because in the past I've been pretty good at picking free agent receivers. I've been pretty good at it. So I trusted my skills, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna take AJ Green instead of guys like Cooper Kupp, who I should have had, and I'm gonna just do that. And so I drafted Devontae Adams first, and Joe Mixon. Then I drafted Chris Carson, and then I drafted George Kittle, and then it was AJ Green, then it was Wentz, then it was someone else, then it was Singletary, I think. And then I was like, okay, because Singletary it was either draft Singletary or pick a guy like DJ Moore, Sammy Watkins, which I guess bit me in the end. But like thinking Cam Newton was his quarterback, they don't throw the ball much, I was just like, let me fade it. I knew the 49ers were gonna be good, so that's why I took my stock on them. And then so I drafted Dante Pettis, who was a beast at the end of last season. Had a great last couple games, so I thought he was gonna emerge. Boy, was I wrong. He had 1 catch for 7 yards and then didn't play the next 2 games. So that burnt me. Had to eventually move and trade pieces to get Mike Williams, who was decent but frustrating because he's a big play receiver, but only and strictly only a big play receiver. Like his only shot to get the ball is 2 or 3 super deep, like 50-yard passes, and he would get them every game. And he would come down with 2 or 3 every game, which was nice. But he would never catch touchdowns, so it was frustrating. You were capped at 10 to 12 points if you were lucky. Sometimes it was like 8 if it was, they didn't throw the ball deep at all. So that was frustrating. But even in that, I still had a shot to make the playoffs. I was 6th spot headed into the last game of the season, but I was only a game ahead of the 2 guys behind me that could take my spot. And mind you, my team was so injury prone and so bad, and we scraped together wins that we had, I think we were 9th in points for. So we definitely got blessed with some wins. Mostly we had to figure out. So we were a game ahead, and so if they won, if either of them won and I lost, then I was gone. If both of them had lost, then I would have won and I would have moved on, and vice versa for them. So I just needed to win. Except my last game of the season was against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and AJ Brown and Saquon Barkley and Julian Edelman. So I was toast. So I lost, and then one of them won, and then I missed the playoffs by a game, and it was so cringy. It really made me hate football. Like I couldn't watch week 17 because I was so just upset at football, at fantasy football, for what I feel was like screwing me this season. But that was so cringy because it taught me like so largely I finished with the team I drafted, which is just rare as a fantasy football manager. So the fact that I think what I let happen was I let the talent of my players distract me. If I could compare this team would have been the Cowboys this season, right? Because we were overconfident in the talent of our players, and we let a few wins against bad teams distract us from making necessary moves that we should have made earlier in the season. And it cost us a playoff spot in the end. And guess what? It came down to the last game, like the Cowboys. And what happened with the Cowboys? They lost to a team that they're better than, for sure. They're better than the Eagles right now. But it's whatever. So in my couch league, I looked at AJ Green, I looked at Devontae Adams, I looked at Joe Mixon, and I looked at Carson Wentz, and I said, this is a talented bunch. They're gonna figure it out because they're talented, and they get the ball, and that's my only thing, right? You're talented, you get the opportunity, you got it, you're gonna do something with it. Except, no, that's exactly what the fuck they didn't do. Then there was my other college league, which was because I had a couple different groups of friends that I hung out with, and this was another group that I hung out with, and they put me in this league, and boy, did I run the table. I ran the table it felt like the Ravens. So then this next college league, this team, this was like the Ravens to me, and literally, because I had Pat Mahomes, Josh Jacobs, Le'Veon Bell. Went 11-2. Just that alone, like it was every week. It was crazy. We had Travis Kelce. We had Darren Waller, who was an absolute steal for us. We had the Ravens defense, and we had Will Lutz as our kicker. We had absolutely stacked. And just like my other college league, I let the talent of my players distract me from making moves. Because I said, look, I don't need a lot of production from my wide receivers. I just need solid production. And I can get solid production from these two. And what happened? We rolled the table. We're overconfident. We're thinking, we can do it because we can. And then it all falls apart. And then on the flip side, in that league, in the playoffs, I played Lamar Jackson. Irony. I played Lamar Jackson, who had 37. I played AJ Brown, who had 25 that game. It was just an onslaught. It didn't matter. Like I think his team went for 165, and mine went for only like 95. So it was a rout in the playoffs. So it was very upsetting, very shocking, especially since I had to bye. And then lo and behold, it didn't work out. If I won all three leagues, I could have won $1,000. Instead, I am out $90. It is what it is, I guess, though. Try again next year. Start doing whatever we got to do. Fantasy gods, look at me closely. If you're listening to me, I will do whatever it takes next season. Oh yeah, no, nothing else. I will do whatever it takes next season. All right, guys, it looks like that's all. I have the TV on. I do this every time. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you wanna tune in next time, yes. All right, that's gonna be it for me, guys. If you want to, all right, that's gonna be it for me, guys. If you want to watch more of my videos, more will be coming. Like this video, comment, subscribe. Show me some feedback. Let me know you liked it. And I will be sure to have another video out to you soon. With that being said, this is Andre. Was still Take It From Dre, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.